Everyone, my name is Harshita, and in today's video we will talk about what exactly is DOM inside JavaScript. Okay, so DOM is nothing but it stands for, first of all, it stands for document object model. So let's write that thing down, that it stands for document object model. Okay, next is what exactly is document object model. Whenever you're creating any web page, okay, जब भी हम लोग HTML के अंदर कोई web page create करते हैं तो हम लोग किस तरह से create करते हैं? First of all we create an HTML tag, ठीक है? Then we have our head tag, वो head tag हम लोग यहाँ पे close कर देते हैं. Then you have this body tag, you have this entire body tag, and then you close this body tag. This entire thing basically helps you to access, like this entire thing is basically a web page, right? Like this entire HTML and then head and then body, this entire thing is your HTML, right? So now what happens is that whatever the elements that is present inside this entire web page, if you want to access or if you want to modify, add new elements on your web page or anything that you want to do, you will be doing through using your DOM. Okay, so DOM basically is what is like is your entire web page. Okay, what you see over here, you will be having on the top, you will be having your URL. This is the place of your page URL. Okay, now whatever you have over here, for example a button, some text, some image, okay, you have some image or something, each and every single thing that comes on this web page can be accessed by using DOM. Okay, that entire thing is basically a DOM. Okay, तो DOM को हम कहते हैं कि DOM provides you a specific object which is nothing but it is known as document. Okay, so document is a specific keyword. You cannot create a variable which is named as document. Okay, document is a special reserved keyword inside JavaScript that whenever you are creating document, it will provide you lots and lots of functions using which you can access the elements which is present on the web page. You can add new elements or anything. Okay, so if you want to access or you modify or add anything inside your document, inside your web page, you will be doing that through this object, specifically through this object, that is your document object. Okay, now one more thing is like, just to remove this confusion, like there is also something which is, there is also one more object, okay, which is known as window object. Okay, this is known as your window object. So both these two objects are provided by the browser. Okay, these are provided by the browser. So when you talk about window is your entire window of the browser. Okay, document represents to this specific web page. Okay, so this kind of questions gets asked inside the interview, like is the document is the bigger object or the window is the bigger object. Okay, so window is the bigger object, document object is basically a part of the window object. Okay, so what we will be doing is that we will be writing window dot document. So document object that we will always access, ये basically आपके window object का part होता है. Okay, so always remember what is the difference between window object and document object. Window object refers to the entire browser window, whereas document object refers to that specific browser web page which you are basically trying to access. Okay, so if you are doing window dot document, that is also valid. If you are doing only document, that is also correct. This is also correct. If you are doing directly document, this is also correct. Okay, so browser directly understands, okay fine, you are accessing this web page, so you do not have to include window dot. Okay, you need not to include that. Okay, क्योंकि वो आपके HTML फाइल से रेफरेंस लेकर के it will take you that to that specific document page only. Okay, so always remember this, the document object model DOM provides you, browser provides you an object which is known as document object, using which you can access the entire elements of your web page. Okay, now we'll talk about that what are the different ways how you can access these elements and what exactly can we do about these elements. Okay, so very first thing, basic CRUD operations. You can create new element, you can read these elements, update these elements, delete these elements, all these stuff. Okay, so what does CRUD stands for? Create. Okay, create new element, read new element. Okay, read, you can say like access. Okay, if we can access the elements or not. Then comes is update, that means if we want to modify the elements or not. and then if we want to delete any elements, okay, so if we want to delete any elements, we can do the deletion of the elements also, okay. So all these four different ways we will try to understand. First thing that we will learn about is like how can we access any elements in the document using document object, okay. So let's talk about it. Let's do it on the next page, okay. So there are three major ways of doing that, okay. There are three major ways. So I'll say if you want to access any elements, there are three major ways. First one which comes is your through ID, okay. First one which comes is through your ID. Then comes is tag name, and then third one which comes is your class name, okay. So if you want to access any element by using its ID, it will give you directly your element, okay. So for example, if I have an element, I will write down its HTML element. For example, I have a div tag, I have given it ID as heading, okay, and then close, and then closing div tag, okay. This is my some random div tag, and then I am saying document. So what function do we have is that get element by ID, okay. So document dot get element by ID. So why I'm explaining all these values is that जिससे आपको ये पता चले कि इन तीनों फंक्शन में differences क्या है, what are the difference between these three functions, okay, and when to use which one, okay. So now inside this one I will pass this specific ID, then heading over here. If I am trying to access any element by using ID, this function will always return me only single element, okay. It will always return me only single element, because we always say that ID will always be unique. ID, you cannot provide same ID to multiple elements, okay, that is not possible. So ID always provide you the single element, so you can directly start accessing the element directly from here, okay. But at the same time, if I try to access by tag name, okay, which means you can say कि there would be two div tags. There is a possibility कि there could be two div tags, right? There could be two h1 tags like that, okay. So get element by tag name, so it is not even actually get element by tag name, it is even actually get elements by tag name, okay. Elements by tag name, like this, okay. And then inside this one I will provide your div tag over here, okay. Now ये जो फंक्शन होता है, इट बेसिकली रिटर्न्स यू एन एरे. अगर आपके पास में एक भी एलिमेंट रिटर्न करेगा ये ऑफ डिव, तो वो भी एरे का पार्ट होगा. सो इफ़ यू वांट टू एक्सेस इट, यू हैव टू डू इट ऑफ ज़ीरो, ठीक है, लाइक दिस. इन द सेम वे, सेम बिहेवियर गोज विद द क्लास नेम ऑल्सो. एलिमेंट्स डॉक्यूमेंट डॉट गेट एलिमेंट्स बाय क्लास नेम, वो भी आपको एक एरे ही रिटर्न करेगा ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स, ठीक है. गेट एलिमेंट्स by class name, and then we will provide some random class name जो भी आपके element का है, and this will also return you an array with multiple elements. आपको किसी भी element को access करना है तो आप 0 1 2 करके indexing के साथ access कर सकते हो. Now let's go deep inside the code and let's try to understand हम किस तरह से उनको access कर सकते हैं, okay. So let's go to our VS Code. मैंने यहाँ पे एक folder create कर रखा है. We'll start with creating an HTML file, then we will create another JavaScript file, okay. So I'll create over here index.html, basic structure add करो, okay. Let's create one div tag. Let's create two div tags जिससे हम लोगों को tag name class name में difference feel हो, पता चले, okay. And then over here I say heading, okay, and then ID I'm giving as head, okay. Over here I'll write down content as hello world, okay, and here I will write down content as MERN, okay. Other than this one, we'll create a JavaScript file, और इस JavaScript file को we'll link it with this HTML file, ठीक है. तो हम लोग किस तरह से कर सकते हैं, script src, आप अपनी JavaScript file का name दे दो index.js, okay. फिर control click करो and then go to this file, it will create a new file for you, okay. So now what we do is that हम लोग यहाँ पर करते हैं उसकी value find out करने की कोशिश करते हैं, okay. So let's say const element is equals to document dot get element by id, okay. हमारा id क्या है, I think it is head, yes. So I will do head and then let's write it down over here, ओके हमने हेड लिख दिया एंड देन अब हम लोग इस हेड को प्रिंट करके देखते हैं व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली इज दिस एलिमेंट. नाउ वी विल एग्जीक्यूट इट लाइक कॉपी पाथ ऑफ दिस फाइल. लेट्स ओपन अ न्यू विंडो ऑफ ब्राउजर का न्यू विंडो ओपन करो, पेस्ट द पाथ ऑफ द फाइल एंड यू कैन सी हेलो वर्ल्ड इज देयर एंड देन योर मर्ज स्टैक इज देयर. ठीक है, सो वी हैव बोथ द टू एलिमेंट्स. अब हमारे को उसका वैल्यू चेक करना है तो वील गो एंड चेक इन टू द कंसोल. सो राइट क्लिक, इंस्पेक्ट, go to the console. So what I will do is that I will just extend this part over here and I can open the console. So you can see that entire element currently is present over here, div, class, heading, id head and then hello world. Okay, so since there is only one element जिसका id head है, you will get only one single element. Okay, so for example अगर मैं इसको class देती हूँ, like if I will provide it class as heading. Okay, now do the same thing, const let's say containers. Okay, just we are just trying to give some variable names. Okay, so document dot get elements by class name and then we'll provide the class name over here as a heading. Okay, now let's log what exactly is this containers. Log containers. Okay, let's go back to our VS Code. Let's reload it. Now you can notice it over here कि there are two collections. This one is your basically your element which comes from this ID heading. You can see first पर वो hover भी कर रहा है, like it is providing some shadow, some color over there. Okay, so that is your first element. Second वाला जो है it basically your two elements. This is your first element, this is your second element. दोनों क्यों आ रहे हैं? Because both of them are having same class. Okay, in the same way अगर आप get elements by tag name भी करोगे, in that case also it will provide you both the elements. Okay, get elements by tag name. Okay, so इस केस में हम लोग क्लास नहीं प्रोवाइड करेंगे, हम लोग एलिमेंट टैग नेम देंगे. what is our tag name? that is div. Okay, go back and then reload. You will again notice it has returned you two values. Okay, first is this one and then second is this one. Okay, so इस तरह से आपको अगर सिंगल एलिमेंट को एक्सेस करना है, ट्राई टू एक्सेस द एलिमेंट्स ऑलवेज बाय आईडी. if you are trying to access multiple elements, either access them by using the tag name or access them by using class names. Okay, so अगर आपको कोई specific element को access करना है, so you can do this array of 1 containers 2 of 1. अभी आप एक specific element को access कर सकते हो like this also. This is also possible. Okay, so that's it for this video. In this video we have covered कि आप elements किस तरह से access करते हो, what exactly is DOM, window versus document object में क्या difference होता है, what is the difference between window and object and document object, वो भी हम लोग यहाँ पे check कर लेते हैं कि जब आप document object की बात करते हो, so this is your entire document object कि वो क्या क्या functions आपको देता है, वो भी आप यहाँ पे चेक कर सकते हो. लोकेशन, एक्टिव एलिमेंट, सो दीज आर सो मेनी फंक्शन दैट इट प्रोवाइड्स यू. ठीक है, ये डॉक्यूमेंट ऑब्जेक्ट आपको प्रोवाइड करता है. ओके, ऑल दीज फंक्शंस. सो डॉक्यूमेंट ऑब्जेक्ट रेफर करता है आपके स्पेसिफिक वेब पेज के लिए. ओके, बट जब आप विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट की बात करते हो, विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट की जब आप बात करते हो तो विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट इज अ कंपैरेटिवली वेरी बिग ऑब्जेक्ट. ओके, और विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर आपका ये डॉक्यूमेंट ऑब्जेक्ट प्रेजेंट होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज योर विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट एंड इनसाइड यू विल फाइंड समवेयर दिस डॉक्यूमेंट ऑब्जेक्ट. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट योर डॉक्यूमेंट ऑब्जेक्ट एंड विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट. इन द सेम वे अगर आप उसको एक्सेस करने की बात करोगे कि हम हाउ डू वी एक्सेस इट, अगर आप यहाँ पे विंडो डॉट डॉक्यूमेंट भी करोगे, इन दिस वे ऑल्सो रिटर्न्स यू द सेम आउटपुट ओनली. आउटपुट आपका सेम आएगा. सो अगर आप विंडो डॉट डॉक्यूमेंट करो दैट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. डॉक्यूमेंट डॉट गेट एलिमेंट बाय आईडी करो दैट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. ओके, इट्स जस्ट दैट कि विंडो इज नाउ सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी, तो आपको विंडो डॉट करने का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. ओके, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you have understood all the concepts. If there's any doubt, please ask in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for watching.